Welcome back to another video where I show you everything I eat in a week. I posted a poll recently and asked for this time when I did a what I eat in a day video if you would like to see a regular week or a vacation week, because I'm going on vacation next week. And you voted exactly 50-50. So I'm just going to do 2 weeks in a row. This week is going to be the normal week where I have usually low carb lunches and I eat as much vegetables as possible. Except for Sunday when I have my cheat days for Sunday for lunch. So if I'm having sandwiches today, I'll give you a better overhead view of that in a moment. And then next week, I'm on vacation. I'm not going to be on my diet. I'm still going to try and eat healthy, but yeah, I'll just see what I eat there. So as always, I'm going to do Sunday all the way through Friday. Like I said, usually lunch is keto friendly. Low carb, because I'm diabetic, had to cut carbs, except on the weekend when I have my cheat day, so I have sandwiches on Sunday usually. I will show you all my snacks, except for fruit, because I just have some apples and some mandarin oranges. I'm not going to show you that every single time. And I don't generally show what I drink, because that's just water, tea without sugar, the occasional sugar-free soda, so I don't show that unless I have something with sugar or calories in it. So, without further ado, yeah, let's just get started with Sunday. So like I said, just some sandwiches today. It's my cheat day, so I'm going to have some carbs for lunch. And usually I have brown bread, like this one on the left. But I had a coupon for some free rolls, so you saw me yesterday with some baguette. And I have some Kaiser rolls, which are white bread. But try to eat as much brown bread as possible. But when it's free, you know. And on it, I just have some cucumber, some brie, some ham, and some lettuce. Oh, and no chocolate while I edit this week, because I already ate both my chocolate bars yesterday and I shared with my nephew, so no snacks today. Alright, it's time to make some dinner. I'm making some sauerkraut with some pork and some potato wedges. So I'm just warming up a pan with some oil in it while I season my pork shoulder chop. I also preheated both my Ninja Foodies. One is over here and one is behind the camera, because I'm going to use both. I'm going to take some of these bacon bits and get that in the pan, and I'll fry those off. And then for the pork, I'm going to add a little bit of oil on both sides, and I'm going to season that with some chipotle powder, some paprika, some garlic powder, some onion powder, and of course some salt. And I'm just going to make sure that both sides are nice and seasoned. And the reason I did this on some foil is because I'm going to use that to wrap it, because I want it to kind of steam in there and get nice and juicy. So I'm just going to put that in my preheated Ninja Foodi. I have it on bake, 190 degrees Celsius, and I'll do that for 20 minutes. So that can do its thing, and then I have my potato wedges here that I'm going to put in my air fryer basket. Give that a quick spray with some spray oil, and I'll put that in my other Ninja Foodi on air fry for 20 minutes at 200 Celsius. And now that my bacon has a bit of color on it, I'm going to add some onion, some garlic. If you're wondering where all this comes from, I do my Sunday prep day every Sunday, where I film it and I cut all my vegetables and make some other things, so I have everything ready to go. So I'm also going to add some peppers, nicely diced, and some chilies. I have some jalapenos and some cayenne here. So I'll just let that saute. I'm not going to add any salts right now, because there's salt in the bacon, and also I'm going to add the sauerkraut, which has salt in it as well. So I'll just season it afterwards if it needs it. Probably doesn't need any more salt. So I'm just going to let that saute. And now that the vegetables have softened a bit, I'm going to add my sauerkraut. And this is proper European sauerkraut, which is just the cabbage that is salted and left to ferment. There's no vinegar or anything in it, so all the sourness comes from just the lactic acid. So that's probably about enough for one portion. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Add a little bit of water to make sure that it doesn't burn. Get that mixed up. And then I'll put the lid on, and the rest I'm not going to use the whole pack in one go. So I'm just going to store that in a glass container that I can close up airtight. And if you keep this airtight, it will keep in the fridge for a couple of weeks actually. But I'll probably use the rest next week. And that was pretty much all the work I needed to do hands-on. I'll just stir this occasionally, and the rest I'll just wait until it's done. Okay, everything is ready. I'm just gonna salt my potatoes. And unwrap my little parcel. And this pork shoulder chop is perfectly cooked. And then I'm just gonna add some of my sauerkraut. And I'll give you the overhead view. That is dinner for Sunday. Some sauerkraut with bacon and veggies, some potato wedges from the air fryer, and some pork shoulder chop. I almost forgot, I also have a bunch of these snack peppers that I'll be snacking on throughout the week. I have a whole bunch more in the fridge. For lunch on Meatless Monday, I'm having some tomato soup. I made this yesterday in my Sunday prep day video, so if you want to see how I made that, you can check out that video. It's linked at the end. Let's make some dinner on Meatless Monday. I'm gonna make some tacos with lentils. So I'm just gonna put some oil in the pan, and that's heating up. And I'll add some carrot, some onion, a bit of garlic, some peppers, and some chilies. And I'm gonna add a bit of seasoning. I'm just adding this all-purpose seasoning that has like salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder in it. So I'll add some of that. But use whatever you like. You can just do plain salt. That works as well. And yeah, I'll just let this soften. So like I said, these are lentil tacos. You can make them completely vegan. I'm adding a little bit of dairy at the end in my taco. So, I don't have any sour cream, but I have some skyr, which is like an Icelandic thick yogurt. So I can use that instead. If you want to keep it vegan, you can omit it, or you can just use a plant-based alternative. You could also add some cheese, plant-based or dairy, whatever you like. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna let these vegetables soften down, and then I'll season them with some tomato puree, and I'll add the lentils, and yeah, it's really easy to make. So to flavor this a bit, I have this, it's tomato and peppers puree. So just a little bit more flavor than just tomato. You can use all kinds of seasoning. You don't even have to add tomato puree or anything, but I do like that. It gives it that nice flavor, and the texture makes it a bit more creamy. So I'll just saute that for a bit, and I will also add some smoked paprika. Normally I would use some chipotle in this, or chipotle and adobo would actually be really nice. Then you don't have to add the tomato paste, just use the adobo sauce that comes with it. But yeah, I'm not using chipotle this time because I already have quite a bit of chili in here. But that would be a nice option. But to get that smokiness that you get from the chipotle, I'm now using just the smoked paprika. And now that the rawness is cooked out of the tomato and pepper puree, I'm going to add my lentils. I'm just using some canned beluga lentils. You can use any lentil. You can cook them from scratch as well. But since I'm making a small batch, it's not worth making them from dried lentils, because I'll have a big batch in the end. So I'm just using a small can here. But yeah, I'm just going to heat this through. And then in the meantime, I'm just going to heat up my tortillas in the microwave. So this is done. If it gets too dry, by the way, and you think it might burn, you can also always add a little splash of water that will just cook out. So, like I said, I'm just using this as a base. So I'm going to put some of that in my tortilla. And like I said, you can use a plant-based alternative. You can leave it out. You can use cheese, whatever you like. And I'm just going to get a spoon. And I'm just gonna fill these up with this lentil, carrot, and veggie mixture. And there we go, dinner for Meatless Monday, some lentil tacos. Okay, I'm just gonna start marinating some chicken for lunch and dinner today on Tuesday. So I'm just gonna do both at the same time. So for lunch, I'm gonna make some low-carb wraps with some chicken. So I'm gonna marinate that in this, which is just this is a mixture of like coriander, garlic, onion. It has cilantro in it, and I'll add some salt to that, and some oil. Give that a quick mix. So that's the marinade for one of the meals, and then here I'll do some paprika, some chipotle powder, and here I have some all-purpose seasoning, so that's garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and I'll just throw that in. And again, I'll add some oil and give that a stir. And here I just have some chicken tenders. You can use any kind of chicken. You can use chicken breasts, chicken thighs. So I'll just put some in here and in the other marinade. And I'll just give both a good stir to mix everything in. So both these marinades are ready. I'm just going to let this sit for a bit. I think I'll use this one with paprika for my lunch today. And this I'll use for the quesadillas. So I'll just put this in the fridge now to finish marinating. And then when it comes time to have lunch, I'll grill both of these in my Ninja Foodi, because for the quesadillas, I want them cooked. So I can chop them up and put them on my tortilla with some veggies so I can fry that off. So, but yeah, let me put this in the fridge and I'll see you when it's time to plate up. So for lunch, I just grilled my chicken in my Ninja Foodi, and I also grilled my chicken for tonight so I can cut that into pieces later to put in my quesadillas. But I'm going to serve my chicken on some of these low-carb wraps made from cauliflower and broccoli and some cheese and an egg. And if you want to see how I made these, you can check out my Sunday prep day video. But I'm just going to add a little bit of skyr, which is like an Icelandic kind of yogurt, because, well, I have it open, and also I went a little heavy on the chipotle, so it's nice and spicy. So a little bit of yogurt is nice to combat that. And here I have some lettuce. This is frise, that's just what I had, but any lettuce will work. And then I'll just put on my chicken. And there we go, low-carb wraps with chicken. Okay, let's make some dinner. So you saw me grill the chicken earlier. I just sliced that up. So I'm just going to put that on my quesadillas. I already put some cheese on. I just grated some provolone and some mature gouda. But you can use any cheese you have. So let's just get this chicken on here. And then I also quickly grilled some veggies. So I have some onions, some garlic, some chilies, and some peppers. So I'll just divide that over these quesadillas. Cover that with some more cheese. And I'll just fold these in half and squish them. You could just lay them flat, cover the whole thing, put another one on top, but I find it a lot easier to flip them when you fold them in half. So let's get a pan on the heat, just a dry pan, no oil or anything in there, and let that just warm up. And now that the pan is hot, I'm just going to lower it to medium-high heat and just put those in there, and I'll give them a couple of minutes on one side, flip them over, and toast up the other side. And I'm just serving them with some leftover roasted salsa that I made last week, so I need to use that up. So quesadillas are perfect for that. So, and that's also where a lot of the veggies come from. So if you want to see how I made that, you can check out last week's Sunday prep day video. But yeah, that is dinner for Tuesday, quesadillas with roasted salsa. I'm kind of hungry after dinner still, so I'm having some of these pork rinds just to keep the carbs down a little bit and satisfy this craving. Time to make some lunch for Wednesday. I'm going to make some low-carb chicken nuggets with some broccoli. So I have a pot of water on, and I'm preheating my Ninja Foodi. Right here I have some almond meal, and I'm gonna add to that some harissa seasoning. You can use any seasoning you like. I'm just using this because one, it's tasty, and also because I'm air frying it, it won't get like that golden brown color, and using the paprika in this will get you that nice color. So let's just quickly mix that up, and not forget some salt. And then here I have some chicken tenders that I cut into bite-sized pieces. And I'm using tenders here because that's what I have. That's what was cheap. But you can use a regular chicken breast. You can use chicken thighs. I'm just going to cover that with the almond meal. Since I'm keeping it low carb, I'm not using any flour or anything like that. So I also don't need to use egg. As you can see, the almond meal sticks to the nuggets just fine. So I'm just going to finish coating these. So I'm just putting this in the fryer basket of my Ninja Foodi. And that can air fry for 10 minutes at 200 Celsius. And while that is going, the water has come to a boil, so I'm just going to add my broccoli to this, and that will cook in about the same time. And while I'm waiting on my chicken nuggets and my broccoli, I also marinated some chicken for tonight, and I'm just using this spice mix. It's a Java style, I guess, and it just has things like coriander, a little bit of dried mango, dried apple, a bunch of different herbs. So I just mixed that with some oil and marinated the chicken in that. And there we go, low carb chicken nuggets with some broccoli, and since I had some of that roasted salsa left over, I put that on the side to dip my nuggets in. I was craving a snack, so I got some of these steak strips to keep the carbs down, just get some protein for a snack. Okay, let's go make some dinner for Wednesday. So I have a pan on the heat. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil, and you saw me marinate some chicken earlier, so I'm just gonna put that in the pan. And I'm just going to get some color on that. Meanwhile, I also boiled some water. And I'm just going to put my noodles in. And I'll just cook those. And now that I have some color on my chicken, I'm just going to add my veggies. I have some carrots, onions, garlic, chilies, and peppers. And I'll just saute that until everything is nice and soft. And the noodles are done, so I'm just going to add those to the chicken and veggies. And give those a good stir. And that is dinner for Wednesday, noodles with chicken and veggies. And lunch for Thursday is very similar to what I had on Tuesday. I'm having some of those low-carb wraps with broccoli and cauliflower with some chicken. I just used a different marinade, and I added some frisee. So that's lunch for Thursday. Okay, dinner time on Thursday. I'm gonna make some pasta, really simple. Right here I have some orecchiette. These are all different colors, all natural colors by the way, like turmeric, beetroot, what's the other, basil. And that's what color is that. But I have some water that I boiled, added some salt. And now I'm just gonna add some of this orecchiette. You can use any pasta, I just have this and I like all the different colors. So I'm gonna boil that, and I'm just gonna do like a salad kind of thing. So here I have some, I ran out of vegetables that I've already prepped, so I'm just gonna prep them real quick. I have some of these mini peppers that I'm gonna dice up. Usually I prep all my veg for the week, but this time I just used a bit more veg than I expected, which is never a bad thing. It just means that I have to cut a few things later in the week. So I'm just gonna dice up a cucumber. So I'll cut them into quarters lengthwise and just into chunks. And I have some frisee in 2 different colors that I'm just gonna chop as well, just a rough chop. There we go, that didn't take much time at all to prep. What I did do earlier when I made lunch, I was grilling chicken, so I grilled some extra chicken that I marinated. Just some tenders, and I'm just gonna cut these into smaller pieces, and yeah, it's a similar process to what you've seen me done earlier in the week. I just used a different spice mix. This time I used the this one, which is apparently Crete inspired, but it has things like a tomato, was it parsley, thyme, was it oregano, I believe, and garlic, onion. So I thought that would be fitting to go with some pasta. So I'm just going to slice up these tenders. There we go. And now we just wait until the pasta is done. I just checked. It's the firmness that I like. So I'm just going to quickly drain this and run this under some cold water to cool it down, because I'm making a pasta salad, so I don't want it hot. I want it room temperature. Just put that in a nice big bowl. I'm going to make a little well in the middle because I want some of the colors to show after I put all my toppings on. So I'm just going to dump in a whole bunch of lettuce. And my peppers and cucumbers. And I think that's enough. I'll just save this last little bit for tomorrow for my wraps. Throw on my chicken. And there we go, dinner for Thursday. Pasta salad with lettuce, peppers, cucumber, and some grilled chicken. So for lunch on Friday, Fish Friday, I'm gonna have some of those wraps that you saw me have earlier this week, but this time it's gonna be with some basa. Before I start marinating that, let me get my Ninja Foodi preheated on grill. And then I'm just using some harissa spices. So I'll add some of that. And some salt. And a little bit of oil to turn that into a paste. Mix that up. And I'll just dredge my fish in that. I was going to cut into smaller pieces, but then I thought I have 2 tortillas, so I just separate it into half. And that's good enough. So I'm just going to dunk this in here and get that properly coated. There we go, and I'm just gonna wait until my Ninja Foodi finishes preheating, and then I'll throw that in on grill for about 7 to 8 minutes, because these are just fillets, so that takes no time at all. So the fish is done. That was 7 minutes at 240 Celsius, just grill. And I'm just using the same wraps, low carb wraps that I made the other day with some yogurt again, because that would go nice with the harissa spices. And then here I have some of the cucumbers and peppers left over from yesterday. So I'll just throw those on, have a little bit of lettuce. Also the last little bit that was left over from yesterday. And there we go. That is lunch for Friday, Fish Friday. Some low carb wraps with basa. Let's make some dinner for Friday, Fish Friday. So the plan was some salmon, some asparagus, and some potato wedges. But I realized earlier this week that I already used the potatoes I had for a previous meal on Sunday, I believe. So I improvised. I still had some celery root or celeriac, and I had a parsnip left over, so I'm just going to make a mash out of those. So I just peeled those and chopped them into pieces. And here I have some boiling water with a bit of salt. So I'm just going to dump those in. And I'm just going to boil those until they are soft enough to mash. And then also I'm just going to preheat my Ninja Foodi, because I'm just going to grill my salmon and my asparagus. So for the salmon, I'm just going to keep it simple. I have my all-purpose seasoning, and I'm just going to put that over top. And that can go in the air fryer with my asparagus. And now that the Ninja Foodi is preheated, I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the bottom of the pan here. And I'll put in my salmon. And my asparagus. Little drizzle of oil over the top. And I'm just going to grill these. I'll check in about 7 minutes to see if the salmon is done. And then I'll check the asparagus. The asparagus might need a little bit longer. But in that time, I'll just let the salmon rest. So yeah, now I just wait until everything's done. So my parsnips and my celery root are completely soft, so I'm just going to mash them. I also, after 7 minutes, I took my salmon out and I gave my asparagus a little bit longer. If I had any butter, by the way, I would add this to my mash, but I am out, so I'm just going to mash it like this. I just put that on a plate, and I'll just grab some of my asparagus and place those on top. And that is dinner for Fish Friday, the last meal for this video. Some grilled salmon with some grilled asparagus and a parsnip and celery root mash. So there's everything I ate this week. If you like this kind of content, I do these about once a month. And actually this month I'm doing 2 because I'm also doing one next week when I go to London, and I'll do a vacation edition. This one I was on my diet. Next week I will not be on my diet because I'll be on holiday. So if you like this, you can also check out my Instagram where I post every single meal. And if you like to see where I got all my ingredients, how I prepped them, where I got things like or how I made things like the low carb wraps, the soup, check out Sunday's prep day video. That's linked at the end, and I do those kinds of video every single Sunday. So leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Until next time, bye for now.